Hello, assalamu alaikum everybody. Hope you're all safe, sound, and healthy. And once again, you will probably be listening to background sounds because there is never a moment of peace, especially with the neighbors. Where, people are so full of random shit. There's random shit that they do, and then there's random shit that they throw at you. And one of these random shits, which is actually not, it's too frequent to be random, is that the servants that live in the office next door, every night their relatives come and then they make so much noise, and then somebody's bringing in a bike or two, and somebody's bringing a rickshaw in, and somebody's screaming at the top of their lungs, and children are screaming, and adults are also talking to each other, as if they're across seven seas. So there's all that's going to come in, and I'm damned if I'm going to start recording all over again for the third time. So the second random shit is the kind of random shit that people say to you, and you actually have no clue whether they're being hypocritical or just shameless or just selfish, really, because they don't seem to see what they're saying or doing. And one of the most perfect, most common examples is when you see people with children complain to those who are childless about the misery of living alone and not being able to depend on anybody. Isn't that just so amazing? Just look at that. You're here with kids, and despite the fact that you're so thankless so as to not acknowledge the fact that even their presence is a great morale booster when you're sick, which anybody and everybody who's been sick and alone knows, you actually are talking to a person who has no children and who has been living on their own, taking care of themselves, and know that this is their life till the end. You're telling them about the misery of being sick and not being able to depend on anyone. Like, seriously, you're throwing that shit at them? You know? When when the whole world can see that there is always somebody or the other who will actually be there for you, even if they can't physically make you better, but there's always somebody who's at least going to ask you how you feel, tend to you, take care of you, get medicines, call the doctor, take you to the hospital even if necessary. Yeah, as opposed to those who have to do every single thing on their own. Yeah, very smart of you people, extremely, extremely tactical. Yes, very, very tactical of you people. Yeah, I can see that. I can see why you would say that to somebody who's already doing everything pretty much on their own. And it's even more thankless when you do it in front of your own kids. So it's like it doesn't matter what they've tried to do, just be there for you, try to help you. You cuss them, you swear at them, you know, and then you say, oh, nobody's there for me, I'm all alone. Like, that is some ungrateful shit. Seriously, you are extremely ungrateful. Eh. And I've seen majority parents do that. Majority parents do that. Parents seem to act as if, as if whatever they've done for their kids, no other parent has ever done, and, they are owed something in life for all the sacrifices. I keep reminding such people that I think the biggest sacrifice is what the child has made coming into this world, not even knowing who their parents are and if they can rely on them or not. So you're the ones committing the act, you're the ones doing the deed, you're the ones giving birth. The child has no say in the matter whatsoever. Yeah. And, you know, just like how you expect children to be there for you, you need to be there for them first. That's the law. It's the law of physics, really. It's the law of nature. You have to give to take. But obviously, as we all know, there are some of those people who are only takers, be they parents or children. It doesn't matter who they are. Sometimes they're parents, sometimes they're children. They're just takers. They don't give. And that is when, okay, that's another random shit people throw out there, is that when you have all these children that you're taking care of, and there's always this one child that you never do anything for, but that is the child you expect the most from. That is the child you sit and complain to about how miserable your life was. And that is the child who you expect to throw everything away and be there for you. All those children that you spoilt rotten, you know, giving whatever they want and doing whatever they want and treating them like princes and princesses, and they're never to be found. And it's amazing how parents seem to be okay with it, that they're living their life. So what? That one kid doesn't have a life of his own. You gave birth to that kid just for the sole purpose of being your servant. Is that it? Oh, we know that our kids are not going to be there for us, so there's one kid we need to give birth to. And we need to tie that kid down and not let that person have a life of his or her own, so that they have to have no choice at all but to stay with us. And then we're going to randomly curse them too. We're just going to swear them, cuss them, make them feel as if they owe us. Not like we owe them, but they owe us. They never had a life of their own. I mean, who cares that we made sure that they couldn't have a life of their own, that they should be tied down to us? But, we're just going to lord it over them so that they shouldn't get too big for their boobs. Because if they suddenly decide to leave us, where will we go? What will we do? We're all alone. You can't depend on anybody. There's nobody to take care of us. Yeah. Again, to that child who will actually have nobody to take care of them. You have each other, you will have your child, but that child who you tied down to take care of you, when their time will come, there will be nobody to take care of them. Yeah. And in front of them, you're talking such nonsense. Amazing the random shit people say and do. You know, it's like asking a girl or a boy why they're not married, and then asking a married couple why they don't have kids. And then after that, asking why their kids are not getting married, and then asking why their kids are not having kids. You're such busybodies, aren't you? So nosy. I can see you have no life of your own. I can see that. Just random shit you people say and do. It's amazing, really. One of the biggest random shits that people seem to throw at everybody who's in a bad situation is, oh, God will reward you for that. All this that you're enduring, God is going to reward you. Yeah, with a patch of grass and a tree. Yeah, I'm so waiting for it. So I'm basically getting humiliated in this life so that God, like the ever true sadist, would come up to me and say, because you let me screw you, here's a reward. Here's a patch of grass and a tree. Amazing. You know what God's actually going to say to you? He's going to say, dude, I gave you a brain. And I even told you you shouldn't go out of your way to inconvenience yourself in order to do stuff for others. Keep it balanced. Why am I going to reward you for being a jackass? Yeah, because apparently to God we're going to be jackasses. We're going to be stupid. And we're going to be jackasses. We're going to be jackasses because we didn't understand the scripture right. We're going to be stupid because who does that anyway? So that's one reward out the window. Yeah, I bet you never realized you just wasted your whole life for something that was never coming your way anyway. Now, the one thing that we do throw at others, which is true and not a myth, no good deed goes unpunished. And be aware of the person you do good for the most. Be aware of that person, because that is the person who's going to sting you. That is the person who's going to harm you, because he's a taker. You're the giver, remember? You take from those who give. You're no different either. I mean, see, while you're too busy moaning and complaining about how much you've given to others, the person you're moaning and complaining to is the one you're actually taking from. Uh, as I said, this weird stuff that we seem to throw at each other, it's too frequently thrown to be called random. But the way they just appear, in our lives, the way people always try to console you. People, I have noticed, advocate victimization. They will never tell you that it's okay to set the boundaries. They will never tell you that your religion is actually telling you that you need to set boundaries. Because you see, it will upset the cart. I mean, what are they going to do if everybody is just going to start setting boundaries? Who are they going to take from? They're owed, they're owed something in life. They need to take something. And that is it for now. I'll be back in just a short, teeny, weeny, break with some more random shit people throw at us.